about the study on the availability of Twitter data for forecasting suspension time of railway operation. Contents of this presentation. Railway network in Tokyo. This figure shows the railway network in Tokyo. Sorry. Red circle shows the Tokyo station. There are many railway lines in Tokyo metropolitan area. Number of railway lines is 62. The minimum headway is 1 minute 45 seconds. There are very density railway network in Tokyo. Next, in the Tokyo metropolitan area, more than 60% of commuters use the railway system. About 40 million passengers use the railway system. This figure shows the passenger demand at peak hour. The white of black line is shows passenger demand. You can see the many railway users use railway network. Next, railway accident. This figure shows the railway accident in Tokyo metropolitan area. This data is more than 30 minutes delay. Purple shows the natural disaster. The blue shows the human trouble. Pink shows the mechanical trouble. The green line shows the green line shows the suicide, the cause of suicide. According to the statistics, that the transition of number of railway accidents, it has been increasing until 2003. This is a very big problem in Tokyo metropolitan area. Especially, suicide is very big problem. Okay. Next, share of cause of delay. Sorry, thank you. Okay. Suicide is 30%. The vehicle travel is 24.6. The human disaster is 21.1. The suicide is very large share. This is a very big problem. They jump into the railway road when the train approaching the platform. Okay. Next, the place of accident in Tokyo. Red circle shows the central area in Tokyo. Black circle shows the accident point. Okay. Many railway accidents occur in central area in Tokyo. Next, this figure shows the distribution of suspension time of railway accident in 2013. Minimum suspension time of railway accident is 3 minutes. Maximum is 253 minutes. Average time is 64. The background and purpose. When a railway accident occurs, it is not possible to move by train according to the scheduled time. Punctuality is very important on business. We want to know the accurate suspension time of railway accident, behavior change, effective time used, and so on. Next, the background and purpose. Recently, a lot of people use social networking service, SNS, to report their situation and do some findings around them. Especially, Twitter is one of the easy ways to report some information for followers, and Twitter users could send information and personal situation around them to Twitter platform in any time. This is a very important point in this study. Next. For example, when the railway operation stops, Twitter user report that situation for the followers. The content of the tweet are railway accident information, recovery time, and complaint to the railway company or staff, and so on. Then, the duration of suspension time of railway operation can be forecasted using the Twitter data of railway user. Authors have developed suspension time forecasting model using Twitter data. The forecasted time is verified by comparing with existing statistical data, which is utilized the Ministry of Land, Infrastructure, Transport and Tourism in Japan. What is Twitter? This is big data. Do you know Twitter? Yes? Yes. Okay. Okay? I have to explain you. Okay. What is Twitter? Twitter is an online social networking and micro-blogging service. Okay? The users send and read short 140 character text message called tweets. Users access Twitter through the website interface, SMS, or mobile device easily. Mobile device easily is very important point in this study. This figure shows the Croatian tourism board page, the Twitter page. The data, the Twitter data which are created by NTT Data Corporation, the data has created data and created date and tweet text data in Japanese. Authors get tweet data regarding railway accident using keywords which are delay, stop, situation, and so on. Condition of selection date, condition of accident selection are date, time, scale of accident, and modality of accident. Then 10 railway accidents were selected for this analysis. This is the Twitter data. This is big data. Okay, this is a we call this data big data. Okay, this is creating data. This is the text data. This is the structure of data. Okay. Next, the selected railway accidents. 10 railway accidents in a weekday was selected, like this, okay? This figure shows the number of tweets during the railway accidents. In each case, the firstly, the number of tweets grows rapidly. After the peak, the number of tweets decreasing gradually. This is a tendency of tweet during the railway accident. This figure shows the accumulation of number of tweets during a railway accident. This figure shows the before 2 hours, accumulation speed is very high, but after the 2 hours, accumulation speed is very slow than before. This is a count of keywords in Twitter data for developing the model. This is a keyword. For example, keywords. This is the number of appearance of keywords in Twitter data. The keywords, accident, stop, station, operation, and so on. We count this keyword. Next, relationship between number of tweets and suspension time. Horizontal axis shows the time, suspension time. Vertical axis shows the number of tweets. Okay? You can see the positive correlation. Next, suspension time forecasting model. We use a simple linear regression. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. 5 minutes means that we use the 5 minutes data when the railway accident occurred. From when railway accident occurred. 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. R is 10 minutes is better. We can estimate the suspension time as soon as possible when the railway accident occurs. The 10 minutes is given. 10 minutes we can estimate the suspension time. Next. This is a power regression model. Power regression model is better. Reproducibility is very higher than linear model. Okay, R square is higher than linear model. We can estimate the suspension time using Twitter data. Conclusions. The number of tweets are analyzed under accidental conditions, which are small and big railway accident in which a lot of people get influenced. A simple linear regression and power regression were applied to develop the suspension time forecasting model. It became clear that the reproducibility of power regression is higher than linear regression. The suspension time of railway accident could be estimated using Twitter data. Thank you for kind attention.
Thank you for an interesting presentation. Now, do we have any questions for the presenter and to the text, the ideas, the approach, results? So perhaps I will have a question. Did you later on check the next accidents and check the reliability of your solutions, of your model? Because whatever we see here was always based on some previous accidents. And now, do you continuously monitor the Twitter data sent to the between the users and predict the time that eventually will take the accident? Okay, once more. Do you verify, or have you verified in practice your model? The model showed what used to happen at certain time before, and now. Did you verify it for the accidents happening now? Yes? What were the results of the verification?
Yes. No. Not yet. Not yet.
Yes?
Not so.
No, okay, once more. So the model showed the prediction, or let's say the assessment of the correlation between the Twitter data and the accident time. The question is, did you try to use the model to predict the accident time for the current situation on the metro? Further studies. It's ongoing, right?
Ongoing.
So far you have come up with sort of a model, and now you are trying to verify it in reality.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. And we've got some other questions. Well, so if I don't see any questions, I'm sure that you will have a lot of them after the session. Okay, so thank you very much. And I propose we go to the next presentation. It will be named by Professor Takada. It will be about the testing of a mixture model for